swear something bad is bound to happen to me soon, because so far everything this week has been coming up me. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and for this video guys, well, if you have never been to my channel before, and if you didn't pick up by the name of my YouTube name, I love the show called Doctor Who. So often I get recommendations from other people about things I should get into, what I should start, trying to, figure out, learn more about, because learning, when it comes to Doctor Who, it's a bottomless pit. There is so much, and I mean so much, information and things to learn about Doctor Who that it's like you can just kind of get drowned in all the information and all the knowledge and all the stories and all of the details that surround Doctor Who. But I try anyway. I always try anyway, especially when people on my YouTube channel recommend to me things to go and read or see. And recently I was given the recommendation of reading a book called Doctor Who, A Celebration. So I went online and I saw online for $3.58 free shipping and handling. And I said, must be a pretty small book. No problem, I'll buy it. So I get home one day, and in the mail it comes, and would you believe? Here it is, guys. I'm going to lean back so you can see it. I'm going to lean back so you can see it. Look at that. Look at this large book. $3.58 free shipping and handling. The book is bigger than my head. And what is in Doctor Who, A Celebration? Well, it's a celebration 2 decades through time and space. So I believe it was written probably around the 80s, because I believe it was written during the time of the Peter Davison era. And if memory serves me correctly, I think it was even dedicated to Peter Davison. Let me see if I got it right. Yes, this book is in memory of William Hartnell and for John Nathan Turner and Peter Davison, who made it all possible. And not forgetting my children Richard, Sean, and Gemma, who all love Doctor Who. This is a show giving you the full history of Doctor Who up until that point, what was happening, how the show got, started, how it kept going, and the monsters, the actors by the doctors themselves, how they felt about playing the doctors, and some interviews of their companions, some really cool pictures of the production itself, but it really gives you the history of Doctor Who, both in front of and behind the camera. And here's a quote that Verity Lambert said: "Doctor Who has a terrific formula. It has a cast of regular, relatable characters, a continually changing environment, and a lasting impression of not knowing what you are going to see next. Perhaps most of all, through its predominantly high standards, it has never lost the ability to fascinate people of all ages and all walks of life." She said this in 1963 to 1965. Verity Lambert, for those of you who do not know, is the first producer on Doctor Who, and I believe the first female producer that BBC ever even had. Yeah. Revolution was happening. It totally was. And it gives introduction, talking about the changing face of the Doctor, and how each Doctor played his Doctor, etc., and so forth. And you learn a lot of fun things, but also it gives you, sorry if I rocked the table there, it gives you kind of the attitude that was happening in the audience at the time, yes, but it also gives you a brief synopsis of every story from an unearthly child to, I believe, in the middle, nearing the end of the Peter Davison era. And what has to be remembered is, unlike our times, back then, people, you saw an episode once and it didn't air again. So I forgot that for the longest time people only had reviews of other stories and novelizations, but they couldn't see the actual episode itself. So I kind of skipped ahead with this book, where I read it out of order, and I skipped ahead to read the reviews of certain stories, and how that was the only knowledge that some fans had of certain stories. All they had were the reviews of other people. And I'm going to show you some pictures, I believe, that are really cool. Yes, first we have, "I'm a citizen of the universe, and a gentleman to boot. The Doctor said this in the Daleks' master plan. William Hartnell." Look at that William Hartnell face. That's the first Doctor. Then we have a picture of the second Doctor, and his quote is, "I am not a student of human nature. I am a professor of a far wider academy, of which human nature is only a part. He said that in Evil of the Daleks. Patrick Troughton. Patrick is one of my favorite doctors. Then there was Jon Pertwee, who said, I remember saying to old Napoleon, Bonnie, I said. That is so Patrick. I said not Patrick, sorry, that's so Third Doctor. Look at him. Jon Pertwee, you sexy, sexy devil. And then we got the Fourth Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I walk in eternity. Here he comes, the Bohemian Time Lord. Tom Baker. Another one of my favorites. And so is Jon Pertwee. Then we get the Fifth Doctor, sexy Peter Davison. A broken clock keeps better time than you. This was said in The Visitation. Look at the beautiful, oh, he's so ever-friendly, nice Peter Davison, Fifth Doctor. I like him overall, too. I do. I know some people do not like him, think he's bland, etc. and so forth, but I really do like him. And we get, oh, a little bit of the Masters here. We get, yeah, the Master and the Time Monster, and then we get the Master, Anthony Ainley. Some people do not like this Master. I do. And then look, we get some classic monsters, the Daleks and the Cybermen. Now I'm going to give you a couple quotes that I absolutely love when I was reading the story. Okay, when it comes to the idea of Doctor Who, I believe it was John Nathan Turner who said this, but I could be totally wrong. It could be Verity Lambert, sorry. But yes, John Nathan Turner, it was him. He so eloquently put about Doctor Who, it's a magic formula. From the start, it was an original idea. Science fiction had become somewhat predictable, with rocket ships, spacemen, and little green men from Mars. But here was a time traveler in human form, whose machine was a police box that got much bigger once you got inside. Over the years, the script writing has been constantly inventive. It's true, it has. And the stories have never been predictable. I believe they hadn't. We have a license to do anything, and that is the essence of good magic. Welcome, then, to the magic realms of Doctor Who. And I interjected a little of my own words there, but that's true. I thought Classic Who was constantly reinventing itself, and I don't think the stories were getting predictable. Even when the formula was still the same of the Doctor has a threat, someone's trying to take over something, he's to squash that threat. The Doctor and Doctor Who, the writers, found ways to still be creative with that. Then we get the arrival of a Time Lord. And Verity Lambert said this about Doctor Who. The Daleks, of course, are imprinted on everyone's mind, and I remember when we got in the first serial featuring them from Terry Nation. Both David Whittaker and I thought it was very good. But Donald Wilson hated it. In fact, he did not want us to do it, and the only reason we did it was because we didn't have another serial to replace it. We had only just commissioned a new one, which obviously wasn't ready, so we were stuck with it. That's how close we came to never seeing the Daleks. Yes, friends, the Daleks, the first story of the Daleks, called The Daleks, almost never happened. The only reason it happened was because they couldn't film anything else in time to replace it. But what I like about this is how this became iconic in Doctor Who. The Daleks captured the imaginations of so many children and even adults. But it was an idea that a lot of people up in the BBC did not like. And this goes to show you, this very notion goes to show all of you how when negativity comes your way and people turn down your idea, it does not mean it was a bad idea. It means sometimes they did not have the imagination to see that it was a good idea, or because it wasn't what they thought was good, that it got rejected. But it actually was a Derby winner the entire time. Now, another great quote that we have. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. I love this quote too. Of Jon Pertwee. We talked about what Doctor Who did for him. The impact it made on my career was immense. I saw the Doctor as an interplanetary crusader, and it was this dashing Pied Piper image that appealed to me. I could spread my cloak, take the earth under my wing and say, "It's all right now. I'll deal with this." The basic key to the program's success is that it is pure escapism. What can be better than to drift away to another world in another time and forget about the pressures of everyday life? That's what I love about Doctor Who. I know some people don't like it, like, or Doctor Who's like, oh, it's just pure fun, so it's nothing deep and profound to it in some stories. I like when Doctor Who is just pure fun, because I like Doctor Who for, as John Pertwee put it, the escapism. I like the idea of being able to escape into a world and just being able to disappear into the magic of it. That's what I love about Doctor Who, when it is pure escapism. Sometimes when Doctor Who takes on the issues we have today, but it doesn't do it in a way where it feels like the politics are undertones, but instead the politics are overtones. I feel like it takes away from the fun of it. I'm okay with the writers getting inspiration from our world, but it has to be an undercurrent to an overarching story that is universal and can appeal to anyone. Even John Ronald Tolkien, when he wrote Lord of the Rings, he specifically said, I despise allegories. He likes the idea of the fiction and the fantasy speaking for itself. And even though I'm not against allegories, I like the idea of the world being able, or we in the world, being able to disappear into this fantasy world and having a fun time with it. Another quote, and this one, I also like this, I think it's Katie Manning who also put this. The key to this is teamwork. It seems to me was and is fun, although creating the program has always been exacting and enormously time-consuming. Everyone associated with it enjoyed their work while giving it everything they had. Katie Manning, who played companion Jo Grant, summed up the feeling of most of her colleagues when she said, Doctor Who was a fun thing. We joked all the time. Carolyn John, who played Liz Shaw, agreed with this, adding, the program is a fabulous TV training ground because there are so many different facets to it. It's technically so exciting, too. And that's a good thing. Doctor Who is best when, yes, you're giving some profound thoughts, sometimes, yes, but only as an undercurrent. It has to overall still be very fun. Fun, enjoyable, exciting, engaging. And when you have all those elements, any messages you're giving or political undercurrents can work as long as it is undercurrents. But the overtones must always be fun and exciting. Have fun. That's Doctor Who. Fun. With a Time Lord in there who is never cruel, never cowardly. Or at least that's what he's supposed to be. I can't say he's that way all the time. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, Doctor Who, A Celebration, a book worth reading actually. A great deal. Guys, thank you. You're awesome. You're wonderful. Peace out. Bye guys.